So I've been using the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra for over 40 days now, and honestly I wasn't sure about it at first. I had my doubts, but after really putting it to the test, I've come away pretty impressed, and here's why. First up, just to be clear, I bought this tablet with my own money, so everything I'm about to say in this review is 100% my own opinion, no strings attached. With that said, let's dive in with the standout feature of the Tab S10 Ultra, its anti-reflective coating, something we've also seen with the S24 Ultra. This makes a world of difference when you're using the tablet outdoors or under bright lights. You won't have to battle with the harsh reflections, which is a nice touch, especially on a device with such a large screen. Now don't expect it to eliminate reflections as well as a matte display would. But the thing with matte screens is that they tend to make colors look dull, so this strikes a good balance. You get vibrant, detailed colors typical of an AMOLED screen, but with less glare than what most competing devices offer right now. Speaking of the display, the 16:10 aspect ratio on the Tab S10 Ultra is perfect for media consumption. Watching movies or YouTube on this thing is a treat, and you have plenty of screen real estate to play with. The display is sharp, colorful, and ideal for content consumption. It's also a joy to use apps like Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and even Twitter, especially in vertical mode. Now let's be real, it's a massive device, no two ways about it. It's not exactly easy to handle even with two hands, but after a few days you'll get used to it, just like I did. Most of the time you'll probably want to rest it on your lap or use a stand, which is what I do. Plus the build quality is excellent. After 3 weeks, there's not a scratch inside, although I've mostly kept it on soft surfaces. Battery life is another area where the Tab S10 Ultra holds up pretty well, especially for a tablet this size. The 11,200 mAh battery will easily get you through a couple of days with normal use. I've been getting around 8 to 9 hours of screen on time, which is good. What's better is that the standby drain is very minimal, so you're not gonna lose much battery if you forget to plug it in. So how's the charging speed? The tablet supports 45-watt charging, which is decent. In my test, it took about 1 hour and 40 minutes to go from 1% to 100 using Samsung's 45-watt charger. Given the size of the battery, that's actually not bad, but keep in mind you'll need to buy the fast charger separately, which is a bit of a letdown for such a pricey device. The S Pen comes bundled with the Tab S10 Ultra, which is a big plus. Most other brands make you pay extra for their stylus, but Samsung throws it in for free. It's responsive and works great for note-taking, drawing, or just navigating around. There are magnets on the back and sides of the tablet where the pen attaches, and the ones on the back are strong enough that even if you shake the tablet, the pen won't fall off. The side magnets, however, aren't quite as reliable. I've had the S Pen pop off a few times when I've carried the tablet in my bag. It's not a deal breaker, but it's kind of annoying. If you're worried about losing the pen, you might want to consider getting Samsung's optional cover, which has a little bubble on the back that keeps the pen secure. Now, if you're already invested in Samsung's ecosystem, you're gonna love the seamless connectivity features. You can receive calls and messages on the Tab S10 Ultra from your phone, which is super convenient. QuickShare makes file transfer between devices ridiculously easy, and the Galaxy Buds will automatically switch between your tablet and other Galaxy devices when you need them to. Little touches like these make life a bit easier if you're deep into the Samsung ecosystem. And even if you're not, the tablet works well as a secondary screen for a Windows laptop, which can be super useful if you want to get some real work done. Personally, I've been using it for video editing when I'm on the go, and it's made a huge difference to my workflow. And when it comes to productivity, text mode has also seen some improvements. I've always found it a bit buggy in the past, but on the Tab S10 Ultra, it's much smoother. You can stack windows, resize them however you want, and it feels closer to a desktop-like experience than ever before. Multitasking is also excellent, and on a tablet this size, you'll really appreciate the extra screen space. The speakers are another high point. There are 4 of them and they support Dolby Atmos. Not only are they loud, but the audio quality is fantastic for a tablet. You get a nice, rich sound from bass to highs, and to be honest, I haven't come across a tablet that sounds better than Samsung's Ultra lineup. Samsung's AI features are also packed into the Tab S10 Ultra. You get tools like object removal, transcription, and some AI-driven photo editing options. The large screen makes these tools easier to use. although I wouldn't say they are something you'll use every day. But hey, they're there if you need them. There's the circle to search feature where you can draw a circle around anything on the screen and the tablet will search for it on Google. It can also solve math problems and give you step-by-step instruction on how to do it, translate documents, and even turn your rough sketches into polished images with different styles to choose from. One of the best things about this tablet is that Samsung promises 7 years of software updates. So any new AI features they develop in the future, you'll get those too, free of charge until 2031. Not bad at all. The Tab S10 Ultra also comes with 1.5 TB of expandable storage, which is a bump up from last year's model. Considering many competitors don't even offer a microSD slot anymore, this is a huge plus in my book. Now about the cameras. Let's be honest, no one's buying a tablet like this for the cameras. The rear camera is decent for snapping quick shots of documents, but it's not going to replace your smartphone. The dual front cameras are pretty good though, especially for video calls. The wide-angle lens is a nice addition for group calls, and the auto-framing feature works well to keep you centered in the frame even if you move around. The Tab S10 Ultra is also one of the few high-end tablets to offer IP68 rating for dust and water resistance and a fingerprint scanner, though it's the optical sensor, not the ultrasonic one used in Samsung's Ultra phones, but it's still fast and reliable. Alright, now let's get into the most talked about part of this tablet, the chipset. Samsung switched things up by using the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus instead of the usual Snapdragon, and naturally people had some concerns. Does it match up with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3? Well, I did some tests and the results are pretty surprising. First up, in real-world usage, the performance is smooth. Everything from navigating the app drawer to browsing and opening apps feels quick. I didn't experience any weird stutters during use. That performance holds up in gaming too. I thought the MediaTek chip would struggle here, but it didn't. Every game I played ran flawlessly with no dropped frames, maintaining a steady 60 FPS. And the best part? It stays cool even when you push it hard thanks to the larger vapor chamber. Benchmark scores back this up too. On Geekbench, measuring the CPU performance, the scores between the Tab S10 Ultra and the S24 Ultra were almost the same. The GPU tests were also super close and with over 60 FPS. Now let's talk about the sustained performance. Sure, peak performance is nice, but if the chip starts throttling after a few minutes of heavy use, what's the point? No one games for just 5 minutes, right? Snapdragons are known for handling sustained performance well. But how does the Tab S10 Ultra stack up? I ran a 20-minute stress test that simulates a high-end game at 4K, and the Tab S10 Ultra actually performed better than the S24 Ultra, staying cooler and maintaining higher performance. The lowest loop scores, which actually measure the sustained performance here, showed a big difference, likely because tablets have more space to disperse heat, letting the chip run at full potential for longer. So what's the takeaway here? The MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus chip in the Tab S10 Ultra is on par or maybe even better than its Snapdragon counterpart. Plus, it stays impressively cool even under heavy use. While benchmarks don't always tell the full story, I wanted to give you some context on how these two chips compare, especially since people have been skeptical about Samsung's switch to MediaTek for this device. Honestly, I'll admit I was skeptical too, but to my surprise, this chip holds its own. So don't let the move to MediaTek worry you, you're still gonna get the top-notch performance. Now, what about the improvement over last year's Tab S9 Ultra? Well, according to Samsung's numbers, you're looking at about 15 to 30% boost in CPU and GPU performance, which is pretty solid. So should you buy the Tab S10 Ultra? Well, it's easily the best Android tablet on the market right now. The performance is excellent, the display is fantastic, and the ecosystem features are a nice bonus. Sure, it's a bit massive and not everyone's into handling such a big screen, but if you're someone who loves larger displays, you'll adjust to it eventually. At $1,200 for the base model, it's not cheap either, but if you take advantage of Samsung's trade-in offers, you can get it for much less. If you already own the Tab S9 Ultra, there's no pressing reason to upgrade, but if you're coming from an older model, this is a great option. If you're thinking about picking one up, check the description for offer links. Skip the higher storage variants though, since there is a microSD card slot for expandable storage. And as always, if you've got any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll be hanging out there, and I'll see you in the next one.